to putting people in jail for drugs, then why wouldn't you attack Joe Biden too? If your purpose was to combat somebody for the war on drugs, I mean, the author of the 94 crime bill and 88 crack laws was sitting right there in front of you. So I just thought it was kind of low-hanging fruit to go after Senator Harris for that. But everybody should be questioned on their record.
So after Harris was attacked by Gabbard, right, the debate ended. Mm-hmm. She came on CNN and she did an interview. She then was talking about the moment with Gabbard, and here's what happened, Charlamange.
Did you expect that from Tulsi Gabbard? Had you had interaction about that in the past? And how do you think it went?
Well, I mean, listen, this is going to sound immodest, but I'm obviously a top-tier candidate, and so I did expect that I would be on the stage and take hits tonight because there are a lot of people that are trying to make the stage for the next debate.
Yeah, for a lot of them, it's do or die.
Well, yeah, and especially when people are at 0 or 1% or whatever she might be at.
Okay. Does that swagger help or hurt her, Charlamange?
I mean, it's the truth. She is a top tier candidate. Her, Joe Biden on that stage were the big guns. So everybody was, coming up against them. I mean, and, Gabbard, I can't even pronounce her name. Is it Gabbard? She is at 0%.
So you like the swagger. You like the, I don't mean to be immodest.
Yeah, it's the truth. Even though she should have had that swagger on the stage last night, because she was terrible on the stage last night.
Okay, yeah, all right. Yeah. Is she still your favorite, or?
Yeah, she's still my favorite simply because our current president is a criminal, and who better to go up against a criminal than a prosecutor? Like Donald Trump needs to be prosecuted.
So I want to ask you about another candidate that we've talked about, you've had on your show. Cory Booker. Obviously,
yes.
You know him well from New Jersey, the senator. I asked you before which candidate was the least comfortable talking about race and all the conversations that you've had with him. And you said, without hesitation, Cory Booker. You told me, we want to know exactly what type of agenda you have for African Americans. And you said he wasn't prepared to answer that. Did he change your mind at all last night?
Cory Booker won the debate last night, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? I thought he did great. And because he brought up things that I've been waiting for people to question. I wanted people to question Joe Biden on his, tough on crime stance. I wanted, somebody to talk about the Russian interference that we all know exists, that Robert Mueller talked about in his Mueller report, that the Senate Intel Committee has talked about, that I'm scared of because I'm a private citizen that has to vote next year.
So let me play that moment, because that was a moment when Cory Booker connected those things together, race and Russia. Here he is.
Look, this is one of those times where we're not staring at the truth and calling it out. And this is a case for the Democratic Party. The truth will set us free. We lost the state of Michigan because everybody from Republicans to Russians were targeting the suppression of African American voters. We need to say that.
What was it about that moment?
I love that simply because last week I watched, Robert Mueller say that there was Russian interference. I watched the Senate Intel Committee say that there was Russian interference. I watched Mitch McConnell block an election security bill after getting that information. If that doesn't tell us that this current administration is in cahoots with Russia, what will? So me as a private citizen that has to vote in 2020, I just want to make sure that it's going to be a fair and balanced election.
And he linked it to suppressing the African American vote. He was direct about it.
It's two nights of debates with the Democrats, and none of them are bringing that up. Shouldn't that be a pressing issue for us Americans? Like, how you going to run out and tell us to vote in 2020? We don't even know if it's going to be a fair election.
So coming into this debate, you were critical of Joe Biden. You have been very direct about that with the crime bill, criminal justice reform, and its impact on Black Americans. So I wanted to just make sure, I don't know if you saw this poll, Charlamagne, but a recent Quinnipiac poll had 26%, when you look at this, 53% of Black voters who have decided who they're going to vote for say Joe Biden. 53%. Sanders is the next closest at 8%. Then Kamala Harris at 7%. Then Elizabeth Warren at 4%. Then 2% for Cory Booker. Why is this?
Because broism is real, like I've said before, and I just think people aren't really educated to Joe Biden's record. And once again, people can change, they can unlearn, but I want everybody to keep in mind that last night on that stage, he called Cory Booker the president, and then he said, I'm sorry, future president. You know why? Because clearly he thinks all Black politicians look alike. Okay? Whoa. Nobody paid that no attention. I just want Joe Biden, why can't he just simply admit, hey, I made some mistakes, I did some things wrong, I want to correct those things going forward.
So you come out of this saying Joe Biden is not getting there. Cory Booker wins, but you're still, as of now,
I just think that
Harris.
I think that the Democrats as a collective are failing America. And the reason I think that they're failing America is because they're not being honest, like Cory Booker said. Like, we have a crisis in the White House. We have a president that seems like he has a fascist agenda. To me, that's what I think, you know? And I think that if we continue on this path, democracy as we know it is going to be dead, because it looks like the fight is fixed. You've got the Department of Justice on your side. You got the Senate. You got the Supreme Court. You got the National Intelligence now. And it's like, and the Russians in 2020? I'm not going to feel comfortable until some type of election security bill is passed, and I know that the fight is not fixed in 2020. And I don't understand why people aren't making a big deal of this, especially the Democrats.
Charlamange Tha God, thank you.
Thank you.
And out front next, he is the most popular Democrat. So how does attacking President Obama's legacy help the 2020 candidates? And Jeannie Most on how the candidates are cashing in on their one-liners.
Come to you in a second.
I do know it. I wrote the damn bill.